Yahweh Bashem Yahushai Brakatham. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone. It's Brother Yatazadak back once again with another live lesson. As always, giving all honor and glory unto Yahweh Bashem Yahushai Bashem Rakak Kwadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone. We're going to continue off of Jeremiah chapter 23, going into the Hebrew, right? So, Lord willing, you're edified, giving all honor and glory to Yahweh, Bashem, Yahushai, Bashem, Rakak Kwadash, double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone. So, we left off at verse 25. Yahweh, Bashem, Yahushai, Brakatham, to the 144,000 of the nation of Israel, which consists of the elect men, the heads, the teachers, those that are speaking 100% truth, starting with our elders and apostles at Great Millstone, those that are risking their life for the words of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai to go out through the earth, in order that you so-called Black, Hispanic, and Native Americans may be reproved, rebuked, or just merely filled up and fed with the words of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. All right. As the remnant, as the hopeful elect, which includes the 144,000 and a great multitude. So Yahweh Bashem Yahushai Brakatham, right? May the Lord bless you and keep you and cause his light to shine upon you, right? As it is written in the Levitical priesthood blessing, Yabraka Yahweh by Yabraka Yahweh by Shemarka Yar Yahweh Panyawa Aliyaka by Anka Yaha Yasha'a Yahweh Panyawa Aliyaka Wayasham Aka Shalom Bashem Yahushai Bashem Rakak Kwadash or Salakia Bashem Yahweh Bashem Yahushai Bashem Rakak Kwadash. Amen. So we're going to continue at verse 25, chapter 23. We are the Israelites that the Bible speaks of, Great Millstone, Hebrew Israelites. We are in America, Babylon the Great. We are in the latter days. Revelation 13:16 says he causes both small and great, rich and poor to receive a mark in the right hand or in the foreheads. It's talking about the RFID chip, which is the mark of the beast. 2/3 of you so-called Salakia Black, Hispanic, and Native Americans will be coerced into taking the RFID chip. You're going to perish in the time of martial law, FEMA camps, World War III, world economic collapse, central bank digital currencies, when all hell breaks loose, also known as Jacob's Trouble. The third woe is World War III. Ezekiel chapter 38 speaks about Gog and Magog, Russia, China, Iran, these various conglomerates that will come up against America, Babylon the Great. I speak as a man when I say, since its inception, America, Babylon the Great has been a sort of, how do you say it, snare, a mirage, which the Lord is going to ultimately do away with that, right? In order to cause, I speak as man, an illusion to where the world will be tricked into thinking that there's another superpower being established. But really, it's a sign of the end. But we'll see. You know, the Lord can do what he can. and what he wants and when he wants to do it. That's why even Yahweh Shai, Hamashiach, who you call Jesus Christ in ignorance, as it is written, even he doesn't know the time. All right? So Yahweh is his name. It's not Jehovah. It's not Yahuwah. It's Yahweh. Ba'ashem means in the ancient Hebrew tongue. Yahweh Shai, Hamashiach. So you call Jesus Christ. It's not Yeshua, not Yahushua. We are the Israelites, 12 tribes of Israel, which consists of you so-called Black, Hispanic, and Native Americans. Right, so 2/3 of you so-called Black, Hispanic, and Native Americans will be coerced into taking the RFID chip. You're going to perish in the time of martial law, FEMA camps, Jacob's trouble. Without further ado, we're going to continue at verse 25. So Yahweh Bashim Yahshua Brakatam, Lord willing, you're edified. And we're going to keep it going. All right. Salakia, just bear with me 1 second. So Jeremiah 23:25 says here, I have heard unto that which they have said, those that prophesy, because if it would say the prophets, it would actually be inscribed as Ha Nabaya Yum. All right. So it reads, I have heard unto that which they have said, those that prophesy, they prophesy in my name falsely to say I have dreamed, right? Which you have Martin Luther King Jr. You had other examples, men that Esau Edom has paid off, which is Esau Edom is a so-called white man. We are the Israelites, so-called Black, Hispanic, and Native Americans, Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, those of indigenous Negro and Taino descent, God's chosen people. All right, so you had throughout time men set up to lead Jake astray. Even these particular movements, like the Brown Berets, I'm not sure if I said that right, the Black Panthers, gangs, what else? Religion, philosophies, which you have in the book of Revelation. You have the false prophet. You have 3 unclean spirits. The false prophet is the Vatican. Out of that came out, right? Christianity, Catholicism, because Esau Edom, the so-called white man, came back into charge during the 1500s, the Renaissance, because he was ran out of the earth, as it is written, right from the year 500 to the 1500s, right? But when he came back, things transpired like the Inquisition, the Crusades, which was Esau's attempt to regain control over the Holy Land, which Ishmael had already, the Lord put it in his spirit to create a stronghold and to have it to where, right, Esau would not be able to fully be in control of the holy places. Because if it was up to Esau, right, like he changed the image of the angels, the image of, right, the holy people, into whitewashing them, he would have eventually done that with the holy places as well. Right? To say that, my people have been there since ancient times, which is not true. That's why Ishmael kind of jumped ahead, and he he knew that that's what Esau would ultimately do, which would be contrary to what the Lord put into the mind of the Ishmaelites to kind of because this is about power to these heathen, to the heathen, right? Religion is power. It's about control. It's about who has the upper hand. All right, but that's really not really necessarily pertaining to this lesson. But that's what the Lord has said in this chapter, speaking of those that prophesy in His name falsely, to say, "I have dreamed, I have dreamed." Right. So you had particular men set up of the nation of Israel to speak particular things, to lead Jake in a particular way, right, which is not according to the ways and manners and customs of our forefathers, right? But these are different ways that the Lord said through Yahushua Mashiach, which is not according to the way He gave, which is right the way that He gave unto His only begotten Son. All right, if you can understand what I'm saying, St. John chapter 10 speaks about those that do not come up by the door, which Yahushua is a spiritual porter. We are spiritual portals, not portals, Salakia, porters. All right, but you have porters on the left hand side. You have even spiritual Levites, if you can understand what I'm trying to say, on the left hand side, because as the hopeful remnant, we are spiritual Levites, meaning we're joined unto the Lord. So you got particular heathen, a particular priesthood on the left hand side, which is closely knitted unto Esau. You got right the Babylonians, right? The Babylonians had a priesthood. The Egyptians had a priesthood, right? Which, according to Psalms 83, they have worked in tangent with amongst each other, right? Leading up to a particular time, right? Which is why you have particular advancements in tech, because this is all, and Elon Musk will tell you himself, right? You see, this is a time. This is a time of a great revealing, a time to where understanding is not far fetched. It's not a thing of right. It's not a thing of fairy tales no more. See, we're in a time where information is almost instantaneous. All right. So this is that light, which eventually, right, had to be revealed, right? Because this is what comes with pride. What comes with pride is right, is a feeling of knowing everything, omnipotency, which the Lord put in the spirit of the heathen, right? To bring that type of way in order for the truth to be revealed. All right. But it's not really that deep, which is why Yahushua spoke in parables. It was not to confuse you, Jakes, even more. It was really to make things even simpler than what you can think of it to be. All right. If you understand the volume of the book, if you understand, right, the mindset of the heathen, if you understand the mindset of 2/3. If you understand what the mindset of the remnant will be, right? Because since the beginning, the Lord said that you can eat of the fruits of the trees of the garden, meaning you can know of the other philosophies, but the Lord gave His way to men that had a particular spirit, right? It started with Adam, Noah. Scriptures say that Noah walked with God. Um, Enoch, he walked with God. He was taken away lest he should be corrupted, which is symbolic for the elect, which is the chosen, which is righteous men, right, which has existed since the foundation of the world. All right. So it says, Shammai, Shammai Taya, Ata, Ashar, Amarwa, Ha Nabaayim, Ha Nabaayim, Bashamya, Shakwar, La Amar, Halam Taya. Verse 26, even until when shall it be in the heart of those that prophesy false false of falsehood or salakia falsely, and the prophets that are beguiled unto their heart or salakia, and the prophets that are what is that, not beguiled, or that are and the prophets that are treacherous in their heart, because marama is to beguile or to use guile, because guile can be used righteously or wickedly, but tharama means treacherous, which is another way to say deceit. Fraud, deceit. Let's look at the root. Rama, to beguile, which is marama, would be to beguile. Tharama would mean treachery, right? Meaning they're 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 corrupt, so their way is the and the way they've been programmed is to deal treacherously. Let's look that up. Actually, yeah, treachery. Not treachery, Salakia. Marama. You see? But that means guile. Tharama is to be treacherous. So you can understand the difference in the right prophets that are and the prophets, and there are prophets that are treacherous unto their heart, meaning they're treacherous of heart, which reads Ad Mathia Hayasha Balab Ha Nabaayam Nabaaya Hashakwar Wa Nabayaya Taromath Labam. Verse 27 says, they have reckoned to cause to forget unto my people my name in their dreams, which they had recounted a man to his neighbor, because sapar means to scribe, to inscribe, or to recount, because that's what it, or to record, because that's what a scribe's job is to record and to recount a thing that has been written. You see, we are. The Lord said He was send what? Scribes, wise men, right? To preach, to teach, to rebuke, to reprove, and so on and so forth. All right, Salakia. Spare me 1 second. Salakia, Akim. Um, so let's see, where do we leave off? So verse 27 says, "The reckon the cause to forget to my people my name and their dreams, which they have recounted a man to his neighbor, according to which they have forgotten their fathers to my name, Salakia, and Baal, because Baal was a Canaanite god, an idol, which was essentially a fertility god, right? Which these particular idols, they've been repackaged, refurbished, and promoted, or you know what I mean, as some of them have taken the name of planets, some of them took in the name like Asheroth, took in the form of women, right? So that's all that is. It's a fertility god, right? Which goes to the root. It's kind of twofold because Baal means Lord possessor, right? Which are the things of this world, carnal things, and Yabal, which is the root word Bawal, which means produce, to flow, right? Again, it goes back to a fertility god or a fertility idol, which the heathen have always worshipped because they're known as worshiping the creation and not the creator. All right? Salakia. So let's see. So it reads, Ha chashabium laha shakyach ata aimya shamya ba chalamtam ashar yasaparwa ayash la rayawa ka ashar shakachwa abatham atha shamya ba baal. Verse 28 says, the prophet which is unto him a dream, may he recount that dream, the dream, and that which reminds me of Meeks Millis, right? His label is known as dream chasing, dream chasers, chasing the dream. All right, because the Lord already told you, Jakes, that this is not your rest. All right, but this shall be to your sore destruction, because this is not your world. This is Esau Edom, the so-called white man's world. All right, which means what? That it's not given unto you. Yeah, you got Jakes to sell out, you know, but at what price? At the price of your morals. Which is why it says in the book of St. Luke that there's a man that casted out his bowels, who gains the world and loses his soul. That means your morals. You have to leave off from having a conscience. All right? In order to sell out. That's if you want to sell out. All right? So it's not talking about actually selling your soul, because you really can't do that, because the soul belongs to the Lord. You see, when you understand free will, predestination, the Lord creating all things, and making all things happen. Like I always say, that the Most High God does not tempt man, neither is he tempted up by evil. All right, but what is written? That man is tempted when he's drawn into his own lust, into his desire, and snared and taken. All right. So the Lord is basically saying, let a prophet that dreams a dream, let him speak about it. All right. And that which speaketh unto it, or Salakia, and that which unto my word is unto him, as in he that has my word, let him speak it, even truth, a math, right? What is the chaff, the bun, which is fodder basically, all right? Fodder is animal food, food that you give to animals, simple men, like it says in the book of Psalms, right? He that has no understanding are like the beasts that perish. All right, it's talking about you 2/3. Esau, Edom, the nations, because the Lord is going to destroy them at the end of the day, because they know, because we're telling them that the Lord is bringing His wrath. All right, but they don't understand because they were like beasts. You see, the beast sees the food, he sees the you know, and in his mind, an animal thinks different than someone with common sense. An animal sees what is in front of him, and okay, well, you know, that's it. That's all I need, you know. But the elect, the remnant, we're spiritual in the sense to where we have 20/20 eyesight vision, meaning we see past the tangible things. We right because through the Spirit, the Lord is has revealed unto us the things to come. All right. So 2/3 are in the same mindset as Esau, the nations, right? So this is why it says, what is the chaff or fodder? You can just say chaff or fodder, which I believe is in the book of Genesis as well. Yep. Straw. Chaff is straw. All right. Onto the fodder, which here the word bar means something that is purged, which is grain, wheat, basically grain, because that's what you do with grain. You know, after you process it for consumption, all right, you separate the stalks, right, in the threshing floor, and what's left is the grain, which is to be used for food, all right, which has particular nutrients. But chaff, which is straw, there's animals that will just eat that, and you know, it's not necessarily it doesn't have the particular nutrients, right, that one that is basically, you are what you eat. If you're eating trash, you know, trash, you know, you're going to be sick. So these nations are sick. Esau, he's sick because what they got, because you know, what they got in their mind is not what's, you know, when you eat just anything, right? You're not receiving the right nutrients, which is right. You got things like magnesium, zinc, which are called feel good nutrients, things that help your minds be stabilized. Your immune system helps your immune system stabilize. Like Elder Apostle Tahar always says, you got prebiotics, probiotics, postbiotics. You got to eat your greens with your meats. You got to eat your right your cheese. Like for example, if you're at a family get together, and you're drinking some wine, you may be having some yan yan. It may be an occasion. You got to have your legumes. You got to have your cheese. These are things that help fight and prevent gout. All right. But Jake doesn't know because Jake, the Lord said, seek and you shall find, knock and it shall be given unto you. All right. So Jake is not seeking. All right. Because Jake wants everything put into his hand. Jake wants everything offered in a platter. And that's not what we're doing with this truth. We're not going to give you the truth in a platter. All right. Which is where the law comes into play. You got the law says this is lawful, this is unlawful. Why? Because the Lord knows what's good for you. The Lord knows what's bad for you, and there's a science behind that as well. Like oysters, crabs, lobsters. The oysters were created to clean the ocean. The pig was created not to be eaten, but to be the trash can of the earth. You have things like horseshoe crabs, which are they're bottom feeders. They're meant to clean the ocean as well, as part of the ecosystem that Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai created. All right, so the Lord didn't just make all animals and you know yeah you know the Lord made the Lord flipped the coin and he said, okay, I'm gonna make the whales. I'm gonna make whatever. No, right? Everything was created, right, to be conducive unto another, unto each other. All right. So the Lord said, right, what is the straw unto the grain, saith the Lord. Right. So you have straw, you have grain, you got meats and beets and football cleats and right. What does the NFL player eat? He's gonna eat. You're gonna eat, and the common person, the everyday person, is gonna eat what makes you kind of be you know at 100%. You got what's called brain food. You got what's called you know you got your grains, you got your fish, you got your bread, you got this, the book of Sirach says that there are things that are common for man to consume: salt, oil, bread. Bread is known as a comfort food. Salt is supposed to give flavor to whatever it is that is being prepared. You see, everything has its position when it comes to internally how it affects your body. All right. Let's say you got muscle ache. Really, all you need is some salt, or your muscles are strained. You just need some salt. Let's say you eat something with a high acidity, like some jalapenos, or um, just eat some salt, which lowers, kind of helps lowers the pH, right? Which your stomach works that as well. You got what's called stomach acid, but sometimes you just need, you know, the Lord said, "Let salt be amongst you," which is really talking about unity of brethren and just having common sense. But these are things you just got to know, and if you don't know, then this is why. Um, like I said already, seek and you shall find. Ask and it shall be given unto you. All right. As spiritual watchmen, that's what we're doing. We're giving it unto you, and in the form of you asking is when you click on the videos, right, and be edified. Because we're not going to be doing this forever, right? Eventually, the Lord is going to close those gates of mercy. All right. Scriptures say that the Lord is going to cause the sun to come down on the prophets, meaning the famine of the word, is going to come eventually. All right. Now that we got Nero in office, right? The Trump card, right? And right, ultimately, right? That's what it is. All right. The signs, the times. All right. Simple as that. It's not always, like I said, like I always say, it's not always that deep. It's not always, these type of videos don't always require bringing out 3, 4 precepts, right? The Lord said, make it plain upon tables, which is when we go into the Hebrew, when we go into the Greek, right? When we expound on particular topics, right? We keep it simple, all right? We're not here to break it down to the 10th degree, all right? Because what did Paul the Apostle say? There was a simplicity in Hamashiach Yahushai. What else did Paul the Apostle say? He said we should have the mind of Hamashiach Yahushai, all right? What did he say in the book of Ephesians? To not be tossed to and fro with these particular doctrines, all right? So if you sense a brother ain't right, even in Great Mill Stone, right, you're not supposed to entertain no that little, that off spirit, all right? Just keep it moving and study, get built up, watch the brothers' videos, the sincere Akim, and be thou built up, you know? Because we're not in a time to we're not in a time to be wasting time. All right? We're entering into serious times. All right? Yeah, we throw a little joke here and there, but at the end of the day, this is serious. This isn't a game. We're not comedians. We're not. Yeah, we joke sometimes. We add a little salt to the lesson, but this is not a game. This is about salvation. This is about our heavenly hope, the heavenly hope, which the hopeful remnant are the ones that are going to have that heavenly hope. All right, 2/3 they're not going to get it. Right. So to 2/3, like it says in the book of the prophet Isaiah, right? It says what? Make their ears heavy, make their eyes heavy, something to that effect. Make their heart fat, because to them, this constant reproof is sickening, deafening, right? Just like when you're tired of seeing, you know, things being done right. When you got, if you're wicked, then you're gonna be vexed, and that's why these other camps, they can't refute what we're saying. All right, but the elect, they're not getting tired of this constant, revealing that we're giving out concerning these other camps, right? Because you have the revelation of Yahweh Shai HaMashiach, you have the revelation of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, the name, the revelation of prophecy, the revelation of the children of Israel. You have the revelation of the false pastors. You have the revelation of the son of perdition, Esau, Edom, the so-called white man. You have the revelation of the heathen, who the heathen are, what part do they play in coming up against the remnant. And then you read about that in Psalms 83. Esau, Edom, they have conspired with counsel so that there may not be a name amongst, but they have consulted against the hidden ones. Tabernacles of Edom, the so-called white man, the Ammonites, the Japanese, the Moabites, the Chinese, the Ishmaelites, the Arabs. They have with hope in the children of Lot, which are the Moabites, the Ammonites, and you got the Hamites. Basically, anybody, all the other nations that are under Esau, the Japhites. You got some Japhites that are trying to play like they're Jake. You got some Hamites trying to play like they're Jake. You got mainly Esau amongst the Edomites. You got tares that look like Jake, but they're Edomites. Brethren sowing discord. That's the part of these tares, is to sow discord, false camps, to constantly keep you in the same loop, which is the same old precept to bring out. These are key words that these false men will speak. Things like, oh, well, what time? These are the times that we're entering, or we're going to enter into tribulous times. You see, there's certain key phrases that you're going to hear over and over and over, because these are men set up so that you don't grow in the faith, in the scriptures, right? To be edified means to constantly be built. You don't build a wall and constantly build the same wall over and over again. No, you build from the ground up. All right. So it says, Ha Nabaya Ashar Atawa Halam Yasapar Halam Wa Ashar Dabarya Atawa Ya Dabarya Amath Ma Lathaban Atha Habar Naam Yahweh. All right. Verse Salakia. Verse 29 says, Is it not thus, my word like fire, saith the Lord, and like the hammer, which this actually means, it's not just any hammer. it's a hammer used for forging. All right, that uh, scattereth the cracked rock, as in breaketh the rock into pieces. Allah ka tabarya ka'ash na'am Yahweh waka patiyash ya pataza ya ya pa tazata taza taza salakia ya pa taza salai. Verse says, "For so, behold, I am against the those that prophesy," said the Lord, right? That steal my words, a man from his neighbor, because that's the job of these false pastors, is to sound like the elect men, is to sound like sincere men, and some of them sound like goddamn WWE wrestlers. Some of them sound like cartoons. Some of them sound over emotional when they're reading the precepts. Thus saith the Lord, the days come, or some of them sound, which I think that's a little. They got demons on them because they're changing their voice up. That you can sense the cynicism amongst these men. You know, like uh some of these camps that you watch. They just, you got men just set up to look a certain way to where it makes it look like like they ain't right. You know, they try to sound kind of off, like thus saith the Lord God. Like stuff like that. You could just when someone's faking, or they're being cynical. You know, yeah. There's a time, like I said, we throw a little salt in the lesson, but as a whole, this thing this is about the saving of souls. This is not a comedy. We're not doing skits. You know, we're not speaking double speak. This is real and true. All right. So it says Lakan Hanaya al Ha Nabaayim Naam Yahweh Ma Ganabya Tabarya Ayash Ma'ath Rayawa. Verse 31 says, Behold, I am against those prophets, saith the Lord, that that take with their tongue and they say, or Salaki, and he saith, they say, Hanaya al Ha Nabiam Naam Yahweh Halakwachim La Shanam Waya Naamwa Naam. Jeremiah 30:23 and 32 says, Behold, I am against those that prophesy of dreams falsely, saith the Lord, and they do recount them, and they do cause to wander unto my people in their lies, or in their falsehood, and in their this says lightness, but that word pachaz means to be reckless. That's one of the attributes of Reuben, which is recklessness. Pachas, let's look at the root. It says to leap, to bound. But let's look at that. Let's go to Genesis 49, just so you know I'm not making this up. Unstable as water. Pachaz. Strong's H 6349. Slakia. Clicked on the wrong thing. Unstable. Lasciviousness. Wantonness. Which unstable, that it basically means reckless. All right. So Reuben he has anger issues, which are the Seminole Indians. You know, because the Lord blessed a lot of these tribes, like Asher says good words come to Asher. Which is when you meet particular of these Peruvian tribes, they know how to they just sound good in the things they say. Some of us got the gift of gab. Like Issachar, he's known as a strong ass. He is hired, and labor is his gift. Then you got Judah. He's just good with the hands. So some of these blessings are basically the tribes. They got good attributes and they got bad attributes, positive and negative attributes. Let's see what else. Gad, Gad is a troop, but as a troop he fell because a lot of these Gadites, they got problems with substance abuse. So the Lord messed up the tribes. He gave us particular blessings, but he messed us up too. The Lord messed us up because we went off. What you got? So these are for signs and wonders. All right. Or like Benjamin, which are the West Indians. They got hands too, but they're good with the right hand. Because you go to some of these islands and you got them, on the left hand side, causing hell. They got that good aim and whatever. Which that's what you see. Or the Ephraimites. The Lord made them fruitful. So wherever you see, you ain't just gonna see one Ephraimite. You're gonna see a whole stack of them. So that's just how the Lord did it. And so it says, "Behold, I am against those that prophesy dreams falsely," saith the Lord. They recounted them, and they caused to wander into my people in their falsehood and in the recklessness. And I did not send them, and I did not command them, and to profit, and surely they shall not profit to the people this. So Jake had particular gifts. when the Lord gave him favor, their gifts prospered. But then when Jake went off, this is part of the gifts and the curses, or the blessings and the curses. The Lord said, you follow me, you're not going off, then I'm going to bless you. But if not, your blessing is going to turn into a curse. Which I'm kind of wary. Sometimes I throw up particular, others like it says in Scripture, Levitical blessings to the tribes. But sometimes I wonder, man, am I really? Can the Lord turn that, if they're not right, into a curse? Maybe I shouldn't do it, but I still do it anyways. Because that's you know that's Jake. Whether his mind ain't right or it is, the eventually all Israel will be saved. But we know 2/3 are not going to get it. But it is what it is. We just want Jake to live, man, to get right. But we know it's not supposed to play out like that. So it's whatever. So it says, so it reads, Hanaya al Nabaya Halamath Shakwar Naam Yahweh Wayasaparam Wayathayawa Ata Amya Ba Shakwar Yaham Waba Pachazdam Wa Anakya La Shalachathiam Wala Tazayathiyam Waha Ayal La Ya La Salaki La Yay Yayal Wa La'im Haza Naam Yahweh. Verse 33 says, and because they inquire unto thee, the people this, or a prophet or a priest, to say, what is the burden of the Lord? And thou shalt say unto them, unto what burden? As in what burden? Because that term was used in times past. But during this time, the Lord was kind of getting tired of Jake. So he was saying, don't, which is kind of funny. There's a little comedy in the Bible. You can sense when there's a little comedy. Like when David was dancing and he was dancing so much in front of the ark that his clothes came off. Because Jake is it can't be too serious all the time, And the Lord has a sense of humor too. But it is kind of serious too, because Jake was going off, So it said, so the Lord said, and I will leave off unto you, saith the Lord. This is another way to say forsake. Natash just means to leave off. All right. So it reads, Wa kaya yash alka ha'aim haza awa ha nabaya awa kahan la amar ma masha'a Yahweh wa amarath al yaham tha ma masha'a wa natashtaya atakam naam Yahweh. Verse 34, and the prophet and the priest and the people, which they say, the burden of the Lord, and I will visit upon the man, he and upon his house. The Lord said, what? What? You know? The what? The burden? Don't say, do not say that. Don't say what burden. The Lord, he was not trying to hear that. All right? He didn't want to hear that no more. The burden of the Lord. Please. So the Lord said, I will even punish that man in his house. So that's what he said. Don't ask, don't ask no more the burden of the Lord, which reads, Waha Nabaya, Waha Kahan, Waha'aim, Ashar, Ya Amar, Masha'a, Yahweh, Wa Pakwataya, Al Ha'ayash, Ha Hawa, Wa Al Bayathwa. Verse 35. Thus thou shalt say unto, or Salaka, thus shall he say, a man unto his neighbor, and a man unto his brethren, what is the answer of the word, and what is the word of the Lord? Or Salaka, and what has he spoke, what is being spoken, what has he spoken the Lord? Or what has the Lord spoken? Salakia. Katha Amarwa Ayash Al Rayawa Wa Ayash Al Akhirwa Ma Aina Yahweh Wa Ma Dabar Yahweh. Verse 36. And the burden of the Lord thou shalt not mention anymore, because the burden shall be unto a man, or Salakia, because shall be a burden shall be unto a man, even his word. And thou hast turned upside down unto the words of the God living, the Lord God of hosts, our God. All right. So the Lord said, I don't want to hear that no more. That's what he said through the prophet Jeremiah. When they say the burden of the Lord, tell them what burden. There shall be no more burden, but a man shall bear the burden of his words. Because that's what we're doing. Right? We're warning you, Jakes, and ultimately you're going to be left to your own devices. All right? And the Lord is going to destroy you. The Lord is going to destroy you. All right? So it says, Wa Masha'a Yahweh La'ah Ta Zakar Wa Iwad Kaya Ha Masha'a Yahaya La Ayash Dabarwa Waha Wahapaktham Ata Dabarya Alahayim Chayayam Yahweh Tazabaath Alahayanawa. All right. Verse 37. Thus thou shalt say unto the prophet, what has he answered thee, the Lord, and what has the Lord spoken? All right. So that's what the false prophets did back then. They eventually went to Jeremiah and they said, in secret, what? All right, what is he saying? What's the Lord saying now? That's why the Lord said, "A man stealeth the word from his neighbor." Because that's what you have. You're gonna have false men trying to build up upon the foundation we had laid down and try to push confusion. But the Lord is not having that, because ultimately they're going to be exposed because we're speaking the truth, right? Which you can't mix the truth with lies, because ultimately you're going to be found out, because what we're telling you is scriptural. All right. Verse 37 says, or Salakik, it says, verse 37, Ka tha amar al ha ma anka Yahweh wama dabar Yahweh. Verse 38 says, And lo, the burden of the Lord thou shalt say, for so thus saith the Lord, on account of what you say, unto the word this, on account of that you say that the word this is a burden, that the word this is the burden of the Lord, and I shall send against you, or Salaki, and I have sent unto you to say, thou shalt not say the burden of the Lord. Right? Because that's what these false men, they're going to keep trying to push a narrative. Right? And we're clear, and we're going to keep cutting through it, cutting through their lies. All right? That's how you're going to know the spirit of truth and the spirit of error. All right? Which says, Wa'im Masha'ah Yahweh Tha Amar Wa Lakan Ka Amar Yahweh Ya'an Amar Kam Atha Hadabar Hazah Masha'ah Yahweh Wa Ashalach Aliyakam La Amar La'a Tha Amar Wa Masha'ah Yahweh. Verse 39 says, For so, behold, I will forget, which this doesn't mean forget, because that word Manasseh, it means of, not neglect or forget. There's another word. Let's see if I can find it right here. Not deprive. Man, what was that word? What that synonym? I mean, yeah, you could say neglect. But there was another word. But anyways, that's as close as it's gonna get. And I will neglect unto you, right? Nasha'ah means to lift up, right? Basically, the Lord saying, I will neglect you and cause you to be burdened, and I shall leave off unto you and unto the city which I have given unto you and to your fathers, uh, from even from before me, right? And that's what the Lord said. Right? I will cause you to basically, for his grace, to be left taken away from Jake. All right. Which it reads Lakan Hanaya Wa Nashiatiyah Atakam Nasha'a Wa Natashtaya Atakam Wa Ata Ha'ayor Ashor Nathathya Lakam Wala Abath Abba Abathyakam Ma'al Panya. Verse 40 says, and I will bring upon you a reproach everlasting and disgrace perpetual, which thou shalt not forget. Right? Because 2/3, they're going to they're gonna know they're going off, because we're gonna call out their hypocrisies. And even in the kingdom, they're gonna know the way that they were in error. You know, they're gonna know that they were in error. All right, which they'll be all right once they come back in the kingdom. You know, but it's gonna be known amongst Israel who were the elect men. All right, let's just put it that way. Not in a bad sense to where, you know, in the world you make mistakes and you got particular individuals that just keep bringing it up. Oh, remember when you did that? Remember when you did that? No, it's just talking about the elect are going to be celebrated, right? And we're going to reminisce in a right, in a good way, with the 2/3 that come back in the kingdom. We're just going to reminisce, and it's going to be it's going to be good, because we're going to be all right, because we're not all right now. We're not in our kingdom. We're not, you know, we're not in our land, and we're in the flesh. All right. So we're not all right. We're tired of you goddamn devils, of you heathens. We're tired of looking at you ugly heathens. We're just tired of seeing our people suffer. But Wadi, how about you, Meow Shy? That day is not afar off. Right? When the Lord sends healings upon his wings. All right. And we may see the prosperity of our people, Bashem Hamashayak Yahushai, right? And ultimately, for righteousness' sake, not even, you know, for our sake, but to our hope is that Yahweh Bashem Yahushai be glorified in the earth, right? His name, right? And that's it. So with that, this is Jeremiah chapter 23, going into the Hebrew. It's Brother Yatazadak, hero of Israel. And as always, Lord willing, you were edified, giving all honor and glory unto Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Rakah Kodash, double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone. Kwam Yasha'Allah, Abad Babal, Shalom.